turn your dreams into reality? Well, for me, it's quite simple. I declare them. I believe that when you declare something, you become more focused to set your goals. And it's really interesting because when I was 7 years old, I had a magical candy tree in my backyard. When I would tap on the center of the candy tree, candy would fall into my little 7-year-old hands. This is a true story, and you might ask, how could that be? It's because I declared it would be a magical candy tree, so I put candy in the trunk, and they would fall into my hands. Little did I know then that this would be the pattern of my life, to make wishes come true for myself and make wishes come true for others. I started the Make-A-Wish Foundation 19 years ago with my husband in Israel. And just in Israel alone, 300 children are diagnosed with cancer every single year. You know, there are many, many illnesses that we don't think about. A lot of people think of Make-A-Wish and they think cancer, but there's AIDS and transplants and heart disease. We grant wishes to all of those children, Jews, Arabs, even Baha'is when they come to Israel, because we also grant wishes. They're called wish assists to people that want to come to Israel. This is an incredible story of a boy named Yoni Dotan that wanted to meet the president. At 16 years old, when we went to his house, the first year that we started the foundation, we said, what would you like to do with your very special wish? And it could be, I want to meet someone, I want to go somewhere, I want to have something, or I want to do something special. And he said, I declare, this was an incredible declaration, that I will meet the President of the United States. And we said, we're going to make that happen. And we certainly did. The President gave him 5 minutes of allotted time. And he was such a charismatic young man that he ended up being in the room for 20. It was great. But what was so special about this wish is that Yoni gave him a gift. And the gift was extraordinary. It was a basic white t-shirt that said on it, I met Yoni Dotan. And he said to the president in the Oval Office, again, he declared, he'll wear that shirt. I'll make sure that he wears that shirt. He declared, I will meet the president, and he declared, I'll get him the best gift ever, and I'll make sure he wears it. Well, this put us on the map. We were in USA Today, the Washington Post, Time Magazine, and everyone said, who is Yoni Dotan? You know, it was incredible. Greater men of our time, like Thomas Edison, said, I will light the streets of New Jersey before there was even electricity. And Kennedy, he said, I will put a man on the moon in 10 years. And he certainly did. He put a man on the moon, but he declared it will happen in 10 years, and NASA took him seriously. And you saw that sign of Zionism, those words, those were my parents, and that was their declaration. Just like all of you, I grew up in a household where my parents wanted so much to come to Israel, but I was younger, I was 7, and there we were, on a plane, leaving cushy Los Angeles, and came to Israel. And lo and behold, I found myself on a kibbutz at the age of 7, living in Israel. I loved it. I loved everything about it, the smells and the sounds and the people, and I even lived in a children's home. I didn't live with my parents anymore, so that was a very new experience for me. By the way, that is where my magical candy tree was, in that backyard. And when I need to go to a place that is quiet and good in my mind, sometimes they say when you meditate, find that place. That's where I go, to that kibbutz. I really, really loved it. But my parents also loved the United States. And they said as much as we loved Israel, 3 years was enough, and they wanted to move back to the US. So there we were, 10 years old, in my case, living back in the US. And what did I gain at 10 years old? And what memories did I have at 10 years old? The memories were of parents that were extremely, extremely philanthropic. It was the 70s, and in the 70s, there were paper drives and food drives and can drives, and there was always newspaper built up onto the side of the house. It was the beginning of recycling. The 60s were hippies, the 70s were giving. And you know, giving is very contagious. So there we were in the States, and I said, at 18, I will move to Israel. I declare that I will move to Israel. But at the time, with no Google, I had to find a university program that would accept me not as a junior or as a senior, but as a freshman. And that was very difficult to do. It was right around your time. But Tel Aviv University took that on. They said, yes, we'll accept you. I was the only freshman that year, and I was back in Israel. Great year, loved it. But from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to be in the fashion industry. And I knew that I wanted to go to FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology, where Norma Kamali and Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger graduated from. And so I said, how can I get to that school? And my declaration was, it's going to be pretty impossible unless I apply as a foreign student. And I give that gift to all of you. Some of these very specialized schools that are very difficult to get into, if you apply as a foreign student, it's easier to get into them. So I applied from Tel Aviv U, got into FIT. Great year, and I said that is what I want to do in the future. I want to find a way to incorporate fashion, Israel, and the US. And in my last year, I met the love of my life, my husband Avi, an Israeli who also loved fashion, who also wanted to live in Israel, and I declared I would marry him. Today, we are married after 28 years, and we have 3 beautiful children. When we moved to Israel, however, it was a very, very unique, special day. It was 1991, January 15th. Not only did my husband and I say we'll move back to Israel on that day, but there was another man in the world that also had a declaration. It was actually an ultimatum. For the adults in this room, the ultimatum was that if America attacks Saddam Hussein, he will shoot missiles at Israel. Welcome to the Gulf War. This was my aliyah. My aliyah was being in a sealed room and having a gas mask on my face 48 times and putting my 1.5-year-old daughter in a gas tank. And I said, I can't believe it. This is when we decided to come. But since I'm a very positive thinker, I said I'd rather think of the glass half full always than half empty. And we continued on our journey right after the war of building a very successful agency in the textile industry, representing the top US firms, from the Gap to Macy's, Calvin Klein, Bloomingdale's, Banana Republic, and many, many more. We imported goods from Israel, so it was a great service for Israel, many, many shipments of garments with a Made in Israel label in them. And then, suddenly, one night, 21 years ago, I received a phone call at 3 in the morning from my father. It's not good when you get a phone call from your father at 3 in the morning. And he told me that my brother David, that was at Hebrew University doing his master's, was diagnosed with stomach and esophageal cancer. It was life-shattering. Nothing could prepare me for what would happen next. David was one of the most philanthropic people that I had ever known. He would give out food to a project, Angel Food, for people that had AIDS. He would go to soup kitchens, and we would get upset with him on Rosh Hashanah and Thanksgiving. We always said, why? I don't know why, but maybe he knew something that we didn't know. He was remarkable. And in his name, and following in his footsteps, my husband and I decided to start the Make-A-Wish Foundation in Israel. And today, 2,400 wishes have been granted ever since. And that is why when a child by the name of Daniel at 6 years old says, I want to be a king for a day, oh boy, do we go all out. We have costumes for him and jugglers and fire, and he becomes a true king for a day. And when 7 Arab children said they wanted to be blessed by the Pope because they were Christian, from Nazareth and from Jerusalem, said, this is our greatest wish. We want him to pray for us and for all the children in our ward. We made it happen. And you know, the Pope welcomed us out of all the foundations in Israel because he knows of Make-A-Wish, because children come to Rome. And they were privileged enough to meet the previous president, Shimon Peres. And Muli, may he rest in peace. Muli, his wish was to have a pirate ship in his backyard. An incredible pirate ship. We made him a pirate, and this is what he thought of when he was in the hospital. I've got to get home so I can be a pirate and be on my pirate ship. You know, a wish is a game changer. It's a lifelong ability for the one that gives it to change their lives and change the child's lives and the community around them. Here at the Ben Chumi, at the IDC, Professor Tal Ben Shachar, and he's also known from being a professor at Harvard University. He's a positive psychology teacher here under the direction of Anat Shoshani, put together a wish impact study proving the impact that a wish has on a child. So how do you turn your dreams into reality, and what is the secret? Well, if you want something, you must see it before it happens, like I've said, and declare it. Never say I can't. You can do anything. You might not do it as good as you want, but never say I can't. Be extraordinary, because it will invite people to be like you and strive to attain extraordinary things. Help others, as this is truly ultimate happiness. Always think that giving is an opportunity and not an obligation. Do things differently. If you're sick of the same turkey sandwich, order something else. This applies to everything. If you're sick of doing the same thing, and that is probably one of the reasons you all came here. You said, I'm not sick of, but I want to make a change. I want to do something bigger in life. Understand that things don't always happen for the best, but make the best of things that happen. And definitely enjoy the ride and never stop dreaming. And now what I'd like to do is show you a short clip of what I've been doing for the last 19 years.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
For people who can spare a few hours or a day at a time when they're needed, there's no better organization to help than Make-A-Wish. If you want to do something that will really help children and leave you feeling good about yourself, volunteer for Make-A-Wish.
There comes a time when we hit a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
There she is. Mackenzie is a Make-A-Wish child who we love. Hi, Mackenzie. What are you supposed to do when I see you? You're supposed to scream.
Greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day
that someone somehow will soon make a change.
We are all a part of God's great big family, and it's true, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a better day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. Well, send them your heart, oh, so they know that someone cares.
so their cries for help will not be in vain.
We can't let them suffer. No, we cannot turn away.
Right now, they need a helping hand. No someone lie. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives.
It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
When you're down and out, and there seems no
for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's for kids who have wishes, and we try and make them come true.
Oh, we make it. Yeah. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me.
Thank you. Thank you.